Hey, this is Rashad Farrow with Universal Unity Love I Am. Thank you for being with me today. Oh man, it is so beautiful out here in Mother Nature. And speaking of Mother Nature has a message for you. Now, this video is actually about automatic writing. I've been doing automatic writing consistently for about a year and a half, 2 years. Actually, yeah, 2 years or a little longer. And I guess I kind of want to talk about what has helped me be able to get into a good flow when I'm in that space of automatic writing. I've received messages from the sun. I've received messages from the moon. I've received messages from my higher self, my guides, the angelic realm, star beings, a tree, Mother Nature, Earth. Think about anything, not anything, but a lot of things that you could think of. On some level, I've received a message through the practice of journaling and automatic writing. You see, the thing is a lot of times, if you're someone who likes to journal or write, you do automatic writing naturally without even really noticing. Um, you might get in that flow state. You may get in that flow state where you're journaling and you're not even really thinking about what you're writing. It's kind of just flowing out as you're writing it. It's like you know what you want to say next, you see? So it's like getting in that flow state and really channeling your higher self, your higher aspect of yourself. Because as you may know, we're not this body. So we're actually using this body and receiving the signal of our higher self in order to experience and perceive through this body, you see. So we're constantly always in a state of channeling. Now, the extent in which how clear that transmission is up to the individual, depending on the level in which they allow themselves to surrender, um, to recognize when it's their ego versus when it's soul, you see. So in this video, I kind of want to give an example of the beginning, or not even the beginning. I had been practicing for a little while, but roughly a year ago, compared to an automatic writing that I just did right now before this video here in nature, a message from nature, or the ambassadors of nature, as they call it. And then you can kind of see the progression in a way. So, there's a lot of different things that maybe others give, advice on how you can start automatic writing. For me, I felt in the beginning it was a little difficult, but that was because it was my ego mind that kept trying to do it, you see. So through my practice, there was a certain transition phase where I went from trying to write something profound per se to letting it more flow out and less trying to get a profound answer and more getting something that I actually needed to hear. So there's other practices where they say play binaural beats, and I definitely tried that, and that may definitely help to get both hemispheres of the brain operating in sync, you see. So in the beginning, I would listen to the binaural beats. Some say practice writing with your left hand or your non-dominant hand to kind of get out of what you're used to, you see. Some recommend starting out with writing a prayer. And for me in the beginning, that was super beneficial. I would start out writing a prayer, or just being grateful. I would say angels, guides, light workers, light beings, every, any, and all beings here for my highest good. I just want to thank you. Thank you for guiding me at this time. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for, so on and so forth, whatever you want to say, starting to give gratitude. You can add, I invoke and invite the presence and support of my higher self at this time. Is there anything that you would like me to know? Is there anything that I should know to help on my path of my unfoldment? You can start with a prompt. For me, it was beneficial starting with a prayer because it got me in that state. So it was less about what I was actually writing on the paper and more about getting into that state of sacredness per se, getting into that state of flow, getting into that state of prayer, going from the ego mind into the heart state. You see, that's the biggest thing about prepping or prompting on paper to get into that state of automatic writing. That's what I found most beneficial in the beginning. So I would meditate, probably. I would meditate. I would light a candle, and then I would begin with writing to whom I was wishing to invoke. So that maybe that was like in the beginning, Archangel Michael or any of the archangels or just the angelic realm. I would start saying, I invite and invoke the presence of Archangel Michael, Archangel Uriel, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Jophiel. You know, I would start naming the angels that I felt I was connected to. And then instead of being like, please, like, do this for me or do that, I would just say, I thank you. Invite your presence and support, and I thank you for everything you do for me. Thank you for help guiding my heart towards my next step in order to realize more of who I am. You know, I would start by giving the gratitude and thanks as if it's already done, not asking for it to be done, you see. And as I would do this stuff over time, um, getting in that state started to become more natural. So I didn't have to put in as much time as writing this long paragraph of giving thanks and writing prayers. Now, some people may teach or even say that for them, it helps to do that forever. Like, even after automatic writing for years, it still helps them to get in that state by writing their prayers and gratitude. And there are certain times where maybe it takes me a little more effort and work to get in that state. So I do write the prayers and gratitudes. And then there's other times where I may have meditated or I can just feel my guides are trying to talk to me. That's the thing, is when you start automatic writing, you begin to get familiar with that feeling. And then you're more able to get the messages when you're just doing your life, or you're walking in nature, or you're just living your life and you're kind of in that flow state, just being present. You know how it feels when you're writing, so now you're more able to do that communication while you're not writing. And then now you get more into that state of channeling, you know, where you're kind of channeling almost to yourself, or I guess it's not even channeling to yourself, you're just in communication, you know, with your higher self or your guides. You begin to be the barometer of what you're in contact with. And I recommend that you put your intention out there to be in contact with only those that are for your highest good and the highest good of all and the highest good of all involved. You see, that's who I choose to work with. And you know what? They're probably all just aspects of myself. We're all one. So it is just other reflections, reversions, aspects of you. And yeah, and in order to get into that state, I mean, setting your intention is 100% great. Always do that. But also, you must align with that frequency of which that you want to connect with, you see. So before you begin automatic writing or trying to channel, it may not be the most beneficial to be in a state of fear, you know, or in a state of, I don't know, hate or anger or something like that, because what you may be connecting with may not always be for your highest good. So I'm going to begin by reading an automatic writing from about a year ago. That's the thing as well. Well, here, I'll just get into it. So this was actually August 2nd. You are in service to the Creator. Every being here at this time is in service. It doesn't matter if you're living the life of your dreams or if you're currently living on the streets. It's all in service. Everything you experience is recorded and directly accessed by the Creator, and all is in service to you. Sometimes the challenges in our lives are actually to help us, help you. A person you think is your enemy may be a soul group member on the other side. You see, only through adversity do you see the light. Through obstacles do you grow and overcome. View challenges and challenging people as things that are here to serve you and spring you forward on your path. Ask yourself, what is the lesson? Ask yourself, what are you projecting on that person or situation that your subconscious wants you to recognize? Once you recognize a subconscious habit or obstacle or program or anything you haven't recognized becomes conscious, and then you can address it. If you're subconsciously judging a person or situation, or you have a subconscious habit, once it's seen, it's not subconscious anymore. Breathe, meditate, contemplate, and be mindful of what the universe, you, is bringing into your experience, good and bad. What in your life at this time doesn't feel high vibrational? And ask yourself, your spirit, your soul, what are you trying to show yourself? Your obstacles are here to serve you. Meditate, grow, and tap in. You got the power. You have the power. Don't be so hard on yourself. Show and give yourself love, because you are serving your higher self and the creator. You wouldn't have signed up for this life if you weren't capable of growing through it. You chose this life because you are powerful. You are a guide, and you love to help people. You love making people feel good and joyful. Follow what your heart desires and follow what brings you your highest joy. You are so loved, beloved team. So when I wrote this a year ago, I was in the mindset of writing using my imagination in order to inspire the message. So this one was about a year ago. I had been practicing for at least 6 months, maybe a little longer, before this particular message. And like I said in the beginning, I would try to write. I would try to force something profound to come out, and then I realized. I think maybe someone had even mentioned this as advice in like a video or something. I think they said, allow the inspiration to flow through your imagination. And I don't know if that was actually the quote. That may have just been something that I came up with, inspired off of the original quote. Honestly, I can't really remember. But that's what I started to do. I started allowing the inspiration to flow through my imagination for what the message would be. So instead of writing something I thought sounded profound, I would write what I thought I needed to hear. Or like, if my team was here, what would they tell me? If my higher self was right here, what would they tell me? And then as I would use my imagination to tap into what I felt that message would be to me, then it was like the inspiration for the next line would just start coming. So I'd begin by saying, Rashad, you are so loved. You are exactly where you need to be. Like, have faith and trust in the process. And as I would begin writing these things that I felt I needed to hear, or that my guides or my higher self would tell me, next thing you know, it would go from me trying or writing the message to myself to now it was just flowing. I wasn't even thinking about what do I think the message would be. It was just coming line after line. It was like as I'd finish a sentence, without even thinking, I would just know what the next sentence was going to lead into. And then when I'd be done, like I would look at it, like for instance, when I first wrote that message I just wrote, at the time, I thought I was just writing that. Like, that's what I needed to hear. And then when I read it a year later, um, I was still getting practice on that flow, but I can feel and tell that I wasn't just making that up. That was really my team giving me a message at the level in which I was able to bring it through at that time, you see. So really, automatic writing is a muscle. There's things that can help you in the beginning. Like I was saying, writing the prayers and, doing certain, make it a ritual, meditate, light a candle, say some prayers, say your intention, write your prayers, write your intention to whomever you're trying to connect with, ancestor, guide, angel, higher self, universe, the stars, whatever. And then just start writing. That was another thing. In the beginning, I would just make myself keep writing. Even if it was gibberish, I would just keep writing no matter what. And next thing you know, by the end of it, when I'd reread it, I would be like, oh, there's some little messages in there. There's some gems in there. And the more you do this, the more you allow yourself to get in that flow state of writing, the more natural it begins to feel. And then you'll have to less go through this whole process where you can just have a feeling, they want me to write right now. I get this strong feeling I'm supposed to write. And then you'll just grab a notebook and just start writing, and you can feel right away that the message is coming through. So Now I'm going to read the message that came through today. Like I was saying, it's a muscle. So the more you do it, you just get better and you get more in flow. So I'm going to read this next one. This one is an example. I connected with the spirits of nature as I'm in nature, and I could feel that the spirit of nature was with me. So I said, thank you, nature spirits, here for my highest good and the highest good of all, for being with us now. We meditate in the forest, giving thanks for the beauty of Mother Earth, blessing us with her sight. And then this is when I could feel Mother Nature was starting to communicate back. I could already feel it just within that. I could feel it like, okay, they want to come through. Mother Earth, Mother Nature, thanks you for blessing her with your presence. Neither earth, elemental, spirit, nor human does the blessing, but the presence that emanates all that blesses. You bless us by allowing that presence, the presence to be present through you. As you allow the presence to be present through you, you allow the presence to make itself known through our expression as the spirits of nature. The presence of all, the presence that is everywhere, acknowledges itself as you, as us. We acknowledge that we are one. We acknowledge our oneness in the creation, in creation as all creation in all forms. And we thank you for being our reflection. We join you in your intention to unite in the knowing we are one, in transmission to all selves, aligning with this frequency of Mother Earth. And we relay to you the codes of symbiotic nature between all living things in the context of aligning with the highest good of all selves, souls, and consciousness involved. In the name of Almighty Creator, may you know yourselves as Almighty, Most High, Divine Creator, present within us and all creation. As we do the same, we, nature, and the ambassadors of nature, watch you through the bees. We watch you through the trees, keeping our presence ever silent, observing through the leaves. We recognize the truth of your powerful ancient past, and we see your potential of what is your future. We understand the cycles of death and rebirth is as fluent as the waters in the river of life itself. So we do not judge humanity in its current state, but at times we weep with compassion through your transitions of the unfoldment of your own creations, aligning with your bigger self more and more through each new beginning. We hold the vision of who you really are steady with our awareness in support of the collective of humanity's awakening and realization. We watch and observe humanity in stillness, but always ready to heed the call of the genuine. We love you, humanity, and we thank you for your reflection, Mother Nature and its ambassadors. So when I was writing that message, you see, I started out with giving thanks for Mother Nature for being present at this time. And as I gave thanks for Mother Nature for being present, I began to feel myself aligned with the ambassadors of Mother Nature all around, seen as bees, as life, and unseen here in spirit and in higher vibrational frequency. And as I began to feel them coming through, quick, the message started to flow. Whereas I went from giving thanks and aligning with that frequency of their presence to now being aligned so a message may transmit. And you see, through the practice of becoming still, allowing what the ego would think it wants to say to turn down, and just to allow the flow of the energy I'm feeling to come out, messages like that come through. When I was writing that, I had no idea what the next word was, but I could feel what was right as it flowed. We all can connect with nature. We all can connect with higher conscious. We all can connect with our truth, our heart, us as soul. For us as soul is our natural state. Disconnection, separation is the unnatural state. Me consciousness and you consciousness is the unnatural state. You see, unity, knowing ourselves as the presence emanating the tree, is our natural state. That is what is natural to us. That is what is so simple and honestly could be so easy that our ego mind makes it difficult. But it's not about striving or trying, it's about being, it's about allowing, it's about shifting from your ego consciousness and flipping the switch, not even a switch, but easing into your natural state of consciousness, which is connection with all things. Through automatic writing and through practicing this and conscious awareness throughout your day and life, this easing into or switch becomes more easy, more natural. And you'll begin to identify more with that awareness state of being rather than the state of being that judges, that tries, that thinks things should be a certain way. And as you begin to switch your consciousness from the thing that has expectation to the thing that just allows, you become more at peace with that allowing because you feel and know it is all you experiencing itself on different levels. We can all begin to practice. It is our innate nature. Nature is our innate nature. And why does it seem that human beings have to be the only ones on this planet that can't get in sync, that can't get in flow? A tree, ever still in its foundation, allows everything it needs to flow to it. It allows the sun to shine upon it. It allows the water to flow to it. It allows the bees to come to it. It's in symbiotic nature with all, ever still, ever present, and yet receiving everything it needs and able to express in its divine way that it chose during its lifetime. It expresses in its perfect way, in a way in which it's connected to everything. It bees still while expressing in its unique way and allows everything to come to it. Everything around us is an example of what lies within every single one of us. And you see, when you allow yourself to get in that state of connection and flow, you begin to see this in everything you come across. You begin to see this in all life, in all beings, big and small, macro and micro. You begin to realize and feel that everything is one experiencing itself and can't wait for the union and connection of all things in realization of love and unity. I love you, my beloved friends. We, Mother Nature, love you all, our beloved friends. We see you, we recognize you as what and who you really and truly are. We hold the vision, we hold the space for you to align and come into your truth. The stage of your unfoldment is inevitable. It cannot be stopped. And we hold this space and vision for you so that it may rapidly more come to fruition for the benefit of all. Ashe, love, peace, joy, harmony. Thank you for everything that you do. Love. So yeah, you guys, it's time. You all, it's time. It's time that we allow ourselves to tap in. It's time that we allow ourselves to tune in Nature is waiting for us. Nature is ever present, observing us through itself, through the trees, through the leaves, the birds, the bees, through all. It sees us as we grow. It sees us as we move through these cycles. It holds compassion for us, for it knows the cycles of death and rebirth better than anything else. Man, what a beautiful time to be alive. I hope that this transmission, this message, is beneficial to any of you watching. I'm so happy and grateful to be out here and joined by you all. Thank you so much. Peace, love, and Ashe.